Hello everybody, hello. Get started in a minute. Seems like every sound possible, every noise is happening all at once. Because that's how it goes, right? Those notifications are going to go out. Let everybody know that I'm live. And we'll get started here momentarily. How's it going, everybody? I'm Go Here, Go Home. It's Thursday, so that means Third Rail Thursday. I am going at 7 o'clock. That is the new standardized time for most of the lives that I'm going to do, unless it's random. But if it's my week, it'll be 7 o'clock. Disregard all the fun random times that my system seems to give you. It's always going to be 7 o'clock. And also that goes for my Saturday night stream where we do kit builds and whatnot. That'll be at 7 o'clock as well. So hopefully you join me for that because we've started that back up just this past Saturday. So going forward, every Saturday, 7 p.m., we'll do a kit build. Tonight, we'll do a tour and then I've got some work to do because I definitely have some work to do. I've got a lot done since we last spoke, and I'm almost ready to run trains again. Hopefully even tonight. That'd be kind of cool. Not gonna lie, I really miss running trains. And not just, back and forth, but around the whole thing. Because my loop is down, and I've cut in my sections where I have to add my AR1, which is an auto reverser. Yeah, I've just got to wire some stuff up and then we'll go from there, of course, and we'll be able to run some trains again successfully. So, just going to say hi to everybody who's in the chat currently. So we've got John Gavin, Canadian Locomotive Logistics. We've got Roblox Dog King 2. Who else do we have? Brian Ferguson. Chris from CP Whiskey Creek. Dave Hughes, how's it going? We've got Dundas Junction Model Railroad. James, how's it going? Ronald Rondeau, how's it going? And Brad. Today is definitely a stay indoors and don't just go play in the snow kind of day. Don't even go driving. Don't do it. My work couldn't pay me enough to go to the office today. And that's why I stay home. That and because I have the option. If you have the option, always take that option. So we're going to take a look at a couple of things. This area here that you're looking at right now is probably the newest area of my entire layout. And I don't even know if you can really see it for all of this. Nope, still can't see it. Still can't. How about now? How about I do this? And this still can't. Okay, we're going freehand, so you're just gonna have to not be dizzy for this. All right, so you guys remember I wanted to do an elevated section here. That's in. All 4 tracks are in. You're gonna have to mind this big black foam core board. That's a placeholder, but that's more or less the hotel / train station that this represents, basically. Obviously, I have to paint it and detail it, and it's not actually, the front part's not that high, so it has to be cut down as well. But the trains go in and out of here, no problem. I've got 2 GO tracks and I've got 2 VIA tracks, so that means I can have 4 passenger car trains on the layout at all time, ready to go, which is what I currently have. I've got my Charger set, my LRC set, and then 2 different versions of the GO, something a bit more modern and something the as delivered, I guess you could say. So that's fun. I like being able to switch up my cars and whatnot every so often, so that's neat. I wanted to kind of fill this in a little bit here, so I took a lot of my old buildings. These are all the Walthers Merchants Row kits, and I kind of wanted to see if I can create somewhat of a downtown here, just to, again, get some ideas. I'm constantly looking for ideas, so I like how that looks. I'll probably obviously have to change that up a little bit. Finish a lot of these kits because not all of them are finished. And yeah, so mainline, like I was saying, I've got the mainline, just this isn't down yet. The mainline goes all the way around, and got a switch here. The switch is in, but nothing coming off of it yet. So we look down here, we've got our 2 tracks. So one coming in is obviously going to be your, well, this is both mainline technically. But if you're doing right-hand running, you're going to be going that way. So I'm going to take you around, and we're going to go take a look at that. This is the inside of the station, just in case you were wondering. It doesn't really matter, but it's the back part. That'll all be covered over. I feel like this is ultra zoomed for some reason. Let me see. Oh, it is. That's why you see everything so up close. Wow, okay. I did not know that. Cool. Okay, we're unzoomed. We'll go back and we'll take a look at it. Anyway, so this is a relatively new section here. We're coming off. The main line comes around the corner there, and we're crossing a bridge. I did not have this bridge on my layout before, so I'm very happy that it's here now. It then splits. There's a switch there to go into the siding, but the main line does continue on, and it goes around. And I've referred to this whole section of my layout as the peanut, or the peanut. And that's kind of why, because it looks almost like the shape of a peanut. But this curve here is really nice. And it goes around, and then, yeah, it goes around the whole side there. So that's fun. I'm having a lot of fun working on this part of the layout. But, of course, you know, it's a lot of work. It's so much work. I wonder if I can do this now. I wonder if I can sit this up here, because it was zoomed, and that's why... Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, now you can see way more. Whoa! That's not good. Disregard that. Okay, now it's better. still works. So yeah, so this is basically a downtown section. We've got the huge building there, which is a hotel. And in Montreal, which is what the look of this is kind of based off of, it's a hotel, but it also has the train station in there. So it makes traveling that much easier. Of course, Montreal, they don't have GO. That's Toronto. I think they have MTA, which is still the bi-levels, but I'm not switching road names just for this layout. I just wanted some inspiration. That was the inspiration. So once this is done, it's going to look a lot cooler than what it does now. But for now, this is kind of what we've got. Let's see. Sparky, hey, how's it going, Sparky? Bien Ironwood, how's it going? Todd and Floyd, how's it going, guys? And Glenn. Yeah, the camera it jumped out of my hand. Butterfingers. So, that's kind of what I've been working on as far as this whole section. It's pretty big, but the reason why it is this big is to make sure my curves work, and of course, needing that storage for the passenger equipment. I had all my passenger stuff basically in my yard, which this is the start of the yard over here. But yeah, I always kept 2 trains here at the station, and then obviously you guys have been watching the Add a Car to the Layout every single day, and I can honestly say tomorrow is the 200th episode. They're only like 15 seconds long, but there's 200 of them. Now, of course, this is not all 200 cars. I more or less did a half and half, so when I got to about 100, 120, I ended up removing a lot of cars. You can see that all my barrel ore cars are gone. I had to use them at the club anyways, so I made room for new stuff, and then I added more. So to anybody who's been watching that, thank you so much. Thank you for watching that. I really appreciate it. It's the smallest thing, you know, every video takes like 15 seconds, but you know, your commitment to showing up every single day just to say that you saw it means a lot. So now you guys remember that I was building a kit, an ITLA kit, and I was saying that this is the footprint for that kit, right? So that kit is actually going to go right there. I'm going to remove that Walthers kit. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, but the ITLA kit's going to go in there, just because it works. It will work really well there. And then once that's in, I can start working on all like the track work that goes into it, and then scenery, backdrop, and then I'm planning on getting paint next week because I'm on a 6-day stretch right now. Kind of sucks, but that's how it is. So on my next weekend, I'm gonna get some more blue paint, and I'm gonna finish all the way around, and the little centerpiece there as well. Because I want to get a little bit further here. There's my other ITLA kit. Got to finish this, of course. So scenery and whatnot, I'm kind of getting there, but we'll see what happens. Another thing I wanted to do is I want to switch out this train station here. I like this, but I want something a bit more modern. So yeah, I offered it to James, but I don't think James wants it because he's got another train station, so he can only fit certain things in certain places. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but again, if I don't end up using it, I can always store it. I think I did an okay job on it, except for the fact that it lights up and stuff, but I gotta... What is that? Is that attached? That is attached. Okay. It was this one that comes off. I don't know. It lights up and everything. It's great, but I want something more modern. Trip around the layout here. I don't know. Everything's messy. I find that the whole thing's a mess. And I'll eventually have to move all these cars and stuff out of here in order to paint the backdrop anyways, right? So we'll get to that. Again, it's a lot of work. So, hey John, how's it going? John's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Anthony Dodge, how's it going? Well, whose birthday is it today? Oh, today's John's birthday. Happy birthday, John. All right. So, yeah, like I was saying, the work that I have to do today, I mean, it's not amazing. You guys have definitely seen me do it before. It's wiring. Yay, wiring. Because that's always fun to watch me do live. Because you never know what's going to happen, right? Could start a fire, or hopefully not, but... So this is the culprit here. This is what we're looking to connect to the layout. This is an AR1, and I do believe it's Digitrax. Yeah. Basically, you've got 2 wires that go into it, and that's your main line, so your regular main running line. And then you have to include your reversed section in here, but obviously backwards. That way, when the train runs through this section, it reverses the polarity, and you don't have a short. I already have that set up in this section, so I can do a loop around here, because everything going this way is positive and negative. And you can see right there, it's kind of hanging down. I know it probably shouldn't be, but it is. So yeah, it is what it is for that. But yeah, I gotta wire this into here so that I can run trains again. And I'll take you through that in a moment. I just have to find a screwdriver small enough to take these wires out. Looks more like a pick. That's another pick. That looks like a star. I really hope that I have a screwdriver here for this. Okay, yeah, here we go. Two seconds. It's going to be a whole thing, a whole ordeal setting this up. I'm going to keep the screwdriver handy because I will most likely need it again. So I'm going to take you over here, and you're going to have to forgive me because the furnace is on, and it's right there, obviously, so it's kind of loud. I didn't have issues like this at my old house because the furnace was in the furnace room, which was also known as the back room, and you would never hear it. I'm just looking for my drill bit currently, because I have a specific drill bit for wiring. Cupper, how's it going? Kyle Stevens, how's it going? Ah, here we go. Drill bit. Now, if I don't exactly hear you guys talking, it's because all the way over on the other side of the layout is where the laptop is. Ray from Around the Layout, how's it going? You guys will have to catch me up if anybody else shows up. But for now... Okay, so what I did as far as cutting the line, I wanted to make sure that the section was on a straight. I don't like cutting the rails on a curve. I just don't trust it. So the best place to do this was right here and all the way back around the corner there. I'll show you after if you can even see it. But that means that as soon as you enter the bridge here from this way, so if you're going this way, the polarity changes. And it's changed all the way down around there. Should be able to fit a decent sized train. I don't run super long trains anyways, but they say make sure it's long enough for your longest train. Again, I don't run long trains, so that's okay. But what I want to do, maybe this isn't the right wire. I don't think this is the right drill bit, but I will use it for now. So I still need to drop regular feeders on all three sides of this switch. Same thing over there. And then I still need to drop the feeders on this side for the auto reverser. Now there's a lot of different ways that you can add your feeders. I've seen people add them from the underside of the wire. That's cool. I drill very close in between the ties, right beside the rail, and then it comes up and it makes a little snake head, and then I attach it to the outside of the rail, right in the crease there. And that's the way I've done it for I don't know however long. But it works. It works for me, so I'm going to continue to do it that way. Yeah, you got to find what works best for you, I guess, depending on the situation. I'm just grabbing some wire because we gotta connect some feeders and drop wires. So I'm just checking here for some decent sized. Okay, here we go. I got some. Anthony Dodge, a member for 52 months. I almost, my dyslexia, I almost said 12 months. 52, that's crazy. Thank you so much for the support. I know that James is up there too. I really appreciate it. It helps go towards most of the stuff that you see here, supplies and whatnot, so that we can keep on going live, Keep on keeping on. That seems like a better drill bit, so I'm going to take that with me. Russ, how's it going, Russ? Stay out of that cold. Stay out of that snow. It's miserable out there. Okay, so there's a number of things that I want to show you with the feeders as well, and I'm going to obviously end up soldering them and whatnot. You'll get to see all that, but I do need my car. I have a very special car. I'm going to show you. I think you guys might have seen it before. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So I just got to figure out. Okay, so this is the red side. Okay, so one of the major changes with this is that everything's flat. I know, it takes away from it. But, it was a decision that I had to make because I don't really like grades anymore. I just keep it all. You have to have space for grades, I find. And I don't have space. So, kind of have to make do. Alright, so this car here, very special car. This one was gifted to me by Mark, M&M Rails. But I also use it as my wire car. You see it says red here. That means this rail is going to have my red wire. And if this works properly, and I probably used the wrong drill bit. I did bring over a bigger one, but yeah, I definitely used the wrong drill bit. So I will just make that a tiny bit bigger. But this way I know which rail is the red wire, or my positive, and the white wire, which is the negative. This bridge actually, I dropped it, and yeah, it was a million pieces. But I managed to get it back together. I do have to still weather it and do a bit of work to it. But yeah, it is all good now, which is great because it's a nice bridge. I really like it. Now, Mike has the exact same one here. I think it was Larkspur was having a sale or something, and they had like so many of them. So they were like clearing them out, I think. Or maybe Mike just cleared them out of them. Same thing, right? I don't know where the hole went. I think it's like here or something. Yeah, maybe I'll go back here. So another fun thing here is that I'll be able to do scenery here once this is all wired and going. And we all know that that's my favorite thing to do. So I will be very excited to get back to doing scenery very, very, very soon. I've kind of already started, if you think about it. But go a bit more, do a bit more scenery stuff. Okay. This is neat because it's like a little shelf, so I get to sit at it and do my work. There was a feeder here somewhere that I had to oh yeah, what was that? Or not a feeder, a rail joiner. So I have to solder that too. Like I said, if I can get this done, then I should be able to run a train. I'm gonna want to test it, right? I haven't actually tested it yet, like all the way around, so you'll get to see what I see, you know, for the very first time. And if it doesn't work out, well, we'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Oh, also, if you're wondering, because somebody might have asked, I don't know, I can't tell. I used wood for my abutments. Let me see. You can see. There we go. Yeah. So, this is a wood abutment. Same with this. It's just plywood. I cut it to a neat shape, and then I put another piece of block under here to support the bridge up. And yeah, it works. And what I'm going to do, I saw this stuff. It's really nice. It's from AK, which they make all that weathering stuff. It's like a paste, and you put it on, and when it dries, it looks like the same texture as concrete. And it looks really good. So I'm thinking about getting some of that. Yep, that's about it. And I'll do my abutments with that. So while I'm doing this, just for those of you who might not be aware, every Thursday, a group of us, we go live. So the first Thursday of every month is Denny, who's N-Scale Dystopia. And he's building a really awesome layout. And as you can imagine, it is dystopian. But it also has a lot of Toronto vibes to it. So that's pretty cool. And he runs a lot of the same stuff that I run. Passenger stuff and Via Rail and Go Transit. Yeah, we get along really well. And then I'm the second Thursday of the month. That's why you're here right now. And then the third Thursday of every month is my good friend Mark from M&M Rails. And he's also in the middle of building a layout. So like right now, it's like peak layout building time. A lot of these guys are building layouts, and everybody loves watching the layout build construction and whatnot. So make sure you tune in and follow along on their channels as well, because they've got lots of cool stuff going on, and you can learn lots. I think Denny is making some buildings right now as well. Just like myself. He's really good at it. I say he's pro. He probably wouldn't say he's pro, but I say he's pro. He's just being modest. And again, every Saturday I go live and we do the kit build Saturday nights. And you can also catch BN Ironwood he's been building a lot of kits, and he'll go live, randomly at times. But I think he's going to do a live that is right after mine on the Saturdays. So if I go for an hour to 2 hours or so, I think that he'll be right after. And then we've got James, Dundas Junction Model Railroad, and Trackside Mike. They are live every Monday night. Either one of them. It's always one, and then they alternate. Over on their channels, 7 o'clock as well. So I tin the end of the wire. I put a little bit of solder on the rail, on the outside of the rail, where it's gonna go, and then they attach. Super easy, right? Like, that's attached. This is attached. They're both attached. But this is going to be mainline, right? So this is gonna connect. Oh, did I do that wrong? No, that's fine, because it's going to reverse, right? I think. I have to reverse this one. See all that talking? And I'm like, not concentrating. Okay, so I'm going to remove those two, and I'm going to switch them around. I was following with my boxcar as opposed to what I really need to do. It's a good thing somebody said something, right? No one said anything. Actually, I wouldn't know. Kind of a neat tidbit for you there. So today, which was day 199 of the adding a car to the layout every single day, it was actually voiced by my oldest son, that you guys know as Hopper. Yeah, he's been following along too. I don't know, I guess. And he's like, Dad, can I do one? And I'm like, yeah, all right, but we got to make sure that it's a cool one. And it was the F59 that he got to do. I think he wanted to do day 200, but just how it worked out, I don't know. But yeah, if you guys go and you watch the day 199, make sure you say hey to Hopper for me. Okay, neat. So I've got this set of feeders here, and then I'm gonna put another set of feeders here, just because. Oh yeah, and I gotta solder that too. There's a couple of spots here, like I didn't solder that, and I gotta solder this here too. But I have to put I have to put feeders over here too. Now eventually I'll continue on with the track, the the secondary line there, the not the branch line, but the passing siding, I guess, or industry lead, something like that. I'll continue on with that eventually, but I wanted to make sure that the main line was good first. I wanted to make sure that everything was running well. Just wanted to adjust the rail joiner. I make sure that it's right in the middle, It had moved a little bit. I don't know how that moved, but burned myself. Yeah, apparently the rail was still hot. Gotta get another set of rail or feeders. This might as well use these. What's everybody saying? Derek Alexander, how's it going? Actually, I guess I've soldered before with just flex stuff. I did 5 driveways today. Yep. That's gonna leave a whatchamacallit, a blister. Got the inside of my pinky right there. That sucks. So the solder that I use, there's flux in there, so I don't have to worry too much. Or is it rosin core, something like that? What do they call it? I don't know. But it works really well, and I haven't had any issues with it, so that's always a positive. Okay, so this is going to be red rail. Or is it going to be white rail? Now I'm like doubting myself. Those are both the same, so this is going to be red until here, then it switches to this way. But this goes up. So that'll be on this side. Right? Yeah, because the red. This is red. So it's on the inside. So maybe this should go here, because that is what changes. So that, and then that goes around, and then it ends up here like this. So I technically have it backwards there, but I just got to remember to wire it backwards. So it's just that one there. This one here is backwards. So that means I got to move this red wire over to here. And I mean, it's something I'll remember. Just because I'm wiring it now and I will remember going forward. But I should be taking better care of how I'm connecting this or watching. Because when it comes to these, it's like, if you mess up, then the whole thing's messed up. Okay, so I'm going to wire this to here. And that's going to be only mistake I make. The only one. I doubt it, but I'm going to try. Oh, these are the star ones. Okay, let me do that. So luckily, now if you guys have been watching the kit build on Saturdays, now that that's back, I'm super happy because then I get to build kits. You'll see that if you missed last week, I've been working on this massive ITLA kit, which I love. This kit is so cool. And it's really fun to do kits like this because it really tests my patience. But it's such an elaborate kit. I don't feel bored doing it just because it's so elaborate and there's so many detail parts to it. Where a lot of the Walthers kits that I've done, they're nice. I really like Walthers, but some of them are very basic and they feel very two-dimensional. So it's nice to do something that requires more skill. I will not burn myself again. Not today. Burn me once, shame on me. Burn me twice, shame on you. Or something. Now, the cool thing about how I have this all set up is that when I was running, like you guys saw my charger video, it wasn't fully, like there's no feeders over here. It's all just whatever the station was feeding it. My solder joints are pretty solid, so you know the joints were going very clean. So I could run the charger from here. This is basically where the charger started, and then I was able to film it going that way. So I'm pretty sure I don't need a lot of feeders just to run trains here. Well, today anyways, because I'm sure you guys want to see me run some trains. And I do want to test this before I get too far as well. That's the other thing. It's kind of like when you're building a helix, right? You don't build the whole helix top to bottom or bottom to top and not test it once. When I was building my helix, I would do a quarter turn to a full turn, and then I would test it. Test, test, test. Add another layer. Test, test, test. Oops. Just gonna turn that off for a moment. That's good. That might be too long. I just gotta grab the sheet for the actual thing so I remember which wire goes where. Hey Mark, how's it going? Chris, just don't drop it in your lap. Yeah, no, really. That would tickle. Where did that sheet go? Oh, it's over by the computer. Telling you, if we get the trains running, that'd be cool. Because it's been, what's it been? Since before Christmas, really, that I've been able to run loops. I want to say. Okay. If this is the AR1, track A and track B are here, which is the normal stuff, and then that is the reverse section. So I want to go look at my other AR and see what's what there. Red, white, white. Red on the outside, white on the inside. So, just like most experiments, I don't know if this is going to work the first time. All we can really do is keep our fingers crossed. And that's really, I mean, I'm plugging in some wires here, but that's really all it is for the AR one. And it's another one of those things where, you know, the thought or the sound of, hey, let me add an auto reverse loop to my layout. I mean, that all sounds like it could be a lot of work, right? It sounds almost daunting. It really isn't. And it's just a couple of wires. I had to cut the tracks in 2 sections so that it's not connected with the rest of the layout. It's a whole isolated section. Okay, so I've added the wires to here, and that there is the reverse wires. I only have one set. It's not that long of a section. I can always add another one if I really need more. It's cut here, and it's cut around the corner down that way, but on the same track. So as soon as you enter this section here, it reverses it, and then you exit, and then it goes back to normal right here, and then you continue on through. I think I'm ready to test it. I'm nervous, but I think I'm ready to test it. And my finger still hurts. Guys, send help. Medic. Now, I'll be able to make any changes necessary if this doesn't work. I'm not too far along that there's no turning back and all that stuff. So let me set up a couple of things here and we'll see if we can get this going. I might need a minute. So I have to move a couple of things here as well that are just in the way. Should have done this housekeeping, and yes, I do refer to it as housekeeping. Should have done this like throughout the week, but sometimes you just get so busy doing stuff, you know. Main line looks okay. That'll go this way. Gotta move this wire. I'm probably just going to go slow anyways through there, just for now. Just until I trust it. That really hurt my ears. Okay. So. Alright, so that's good, that's good. I gotta pull this over. Good. That's good. That switch is good. Okay, we're good, I think. We'll find out in a minute once I plug everything in. Contact. Oh, baby. Okay, so that should be good that way. Sorry, I usually do like a 12-point inspection, you know? Make sure every single little thing here is okay before I start shipping trains around the layout. I do worry. Okay. All right. We'll bring this over here. What's F40 was it? So that's kind of cool, right? And went around, so that's neat. We have the lift on. go back over here because, again, with the whole trusting of the trains, it's still very nerve-wracking. Only stop I ever made in Port Hope was at the truck stop that was there. My wife actually, because we were driving through to Toronto one time, and my wife is like, we have to stop in Port Hope. And I said, why? What's in Port Hope? And she said, well, that's where the newer It movie was filmed. And she likes all the Stephen King and all the scary movies and all that. And I'm like, yeah, all right, because she makes me watch it with her. So I'm like, yeah, that would be neat. So that's why we stopped there. Pixels was filmed in Coburg. Oh, neat. Yeah, the TV series. Again, I'm not totally into that stuff, but it was really well done. And yeah, so I watched that. A lot of movies and TV shows get filmed in Port Hope and Coburg. Yeah, I'm very happy with how things are running, but it's usually when I get happy about how things are running is when something bad happens. So I'm just kind of holding my breath this entire time. And now go the other way. It is a Bachman. It's usually only good in one direction. I was talking about that earlier. Our 200 shorts, well, 200 days of adding a short every single day. Oh man. The trick is to film like 10 at a time and upload them and edit them. I don't recommend it. I think I'm gonna switch one of them out here for you guys, if I can, and without breaking it. Let's see if I can do that.
to 4. Oops. Oh, that's funny. That doesn't work through there when that switch is not thrown. Neat. I didn't know that. Okay. Well, that's why you gotta add more feeders, right? So I gotta definitely add a bunch more, because certain areas are not necessarily dead track, but when I throw a switch a certain way, then yeah, the power does get cut at that point in certain areas. I find if anything's going to find an issue, it'll be the True Lines locomotive. Hey Chris, how's it going? nearby the GO train just to make sure everything's good there. I get very paranoid with this stuff. It's like no amount of measuring or leveling or, you know, measure twice, cut once can never really make me feel 100% about, like, that's fine, you know? Once I have, you know, land here and whatnot, I'm sure I'll feel a bit better. But until then, it's like, it's still feel very uneasy. Yeah, I wish I knew how. Barry wants me to turn on the ditch lights. They haven't worked since I got it, really. I don't know why. I have to mess with it. Also, I don't know how to change the number on a TCS. Like, you can do it on the main line, but I've got a bunch of I still have Brandon's locos on here and a couple other ones, so I don't really want to mess with it too much right now. No, the red lights on the cab car don't come on anymore. I don't know why. It's probably because they're all running 03, and it's like, well, I guess that's what I get for getting that. Let's see. Hang on a second.
Night mode active. Function page 2. Function page 3. Function page 1.
Yeah, I have no idea. I probably have to read the book, which doesn't sound like fun to me, but
pull up a chair here and be able to chat with you guys while the trains are going around, so just had to set that up real quick. Yep, peanut curve. The old peanut portion of the layout, basically. Peanut gallery. That's when I take pictures of it and post it online. Mr. Peanut billboard? Yeah, I think I could do it, Mr. Peanut billboard. It does. Now, it's short one part because I need to replace a coupler, so it's kind of a pain. But, yeah, other than that, like, it runs fine. It's just, yeah, the function for it is weird. It's a shame that I had to go out and buy new couplers just to get it working, working. And then sorting out the functions, just, I don't know. And then the cost. The cost is the biggest thing, and that's going to be what turns most people off. Doesn't matter how cool it is or how good it looks. If it's stupid expensive, then, you know what I mean? Like this here, given, I mean, if this locomotive was $300, this train would be half the price of that one. Because it was $300 for 3 cars. So that's $500 plus a $300 locomotive. That's half of what, and it's Rapido. And Rapido's really good, right? So, but this here is like 16. I've seen it higher than that. Yeah, I'll get some Bud cars when they come out. I wasn't a big fan of the old ones because of the way the trucks were. I like the newer style of trucks that they do. I like the Walthers ones. I had a bunch of the Walthers ones. But as soon as I heard that Rapido was doing theirs, I sold my Walthers ones. That's been the trend with most of the stuff I've had. Because I had a couple of Jeep 9s from Walthers, and then Rapido's like, we're going to do Jeep 9 RMs with slugs. And I'm like, deal. So I went home and I sold both of my Jeep 9s in anticipation for the Rapido one. I will most likely get the Lumi set though, just because it's, it's really neat. It'll make up for the fact that I didn't get a turbo train. Oh, yeah. Like, 400 for the locomotive, 400 for the tail end car. I mean, the locomotive is now 500, so if you're getting one of the newer ones, it's 500. And then those cars, I paid about 130, 140 a piece, but now they're like 170, 180. So I definitely got mine at a good time, but yeah, shame on Bogdan. That's all I have to say. Shame on Bogdan. The biggest thing right now is people getting priced out of the hobby, I think, where, you know, when new things come out or people are really excited to get something new or they finally announce something that I need or I want, but it's just they want a stupid amount of money for it. And it's like, well, I'm out, you know, not everyone can afford it. And you'll see even less kids in the hobby because kids don't have full-time jobs. Kids don't have that type of income where they can, you know, drop $400 or $500 on a locomotive, let alone 16 on a full set. Yeah, my full loop is working, right? I'm running loops right now. Smells new. Smells expensive. Yeah. Mike, did you miss it? I did some wiring and I put in my AR1. And it was the only thing left I had to do to get this this main line kind of going, you know. So then I've been testing it out with a couple of trains. I parked my Via in the elevated station. I'm having a hoot here. It's about time I get to run some trains, right? Thanks, Rail Artist. Well, you know, even just to obtain the locomotive, let's say it's a locomotive and the DCC sound is way out in the price range. To get a DC version and then add DCC later, I mean, there's a level of inconvenience there, but you're not missing out on the locomotive. So, and I've known some guys to do that. I think Denny does that because he's running mostly DC right now. Mind you, that's N scale, but still. You know, and when he's ready to set up his DCC controller, you know, he'll be able to add DC, whatchamacallits to his locomotive. It definitely has that new car smell, absolutely. I mean, some of them, you open up the box. I look for it being rude right now. Yeah, some of them, you open up the box and it has that new train smell. They still kind of have that new train smell, but not as fresh as like day one, you know? Dave, you know you want one. I mean, they're smooth once like I had it at the club, right? And you could really turn her out on those big layouts. For mine here, I don't want to go too fast. I've got concrete floors that are just aching for a splatterfest, you know? So I don't want anything to derail yet, and I definitely don't want to have to clean that up. So I'm taking it pretty easy. But when you do open her up, and she will fly, it's a very nice looking set. And that's why I still kind of want to get the Luna. But yeah, it's just that price tag. I just, it's brutal. I don't like that. I wish certain things were just like less. I wish most things were less. Todd likes my abutments. Thanks, Todd. I can't wait to kind of fill this out here because it's already it's set for me to just kind of add some landforms to it now. And once I get that AK stuff, I'll make it look real good. But they're pretty solid, and it's wood, so. But yeah, I was saying that AK makes this kind of concrete colored, spackled. It's like some sort of compound, and it looks like the finishing touch is concrete. So I'm gonna cover that, the inside area, anyways, with that, and I'll do a nice little water scene there, I think, and yeah, it'll be real cool. Oh, good. Yeah, right. I warned you guys. I'll turn her out when she comes around the corner here when she comes back, because it's a pretty big curve, so I'm sure I can make her fly for you, but it'll be quick. The other thing I don't like is that it acts like a heavier load than what it is. So like, if it's going, let's say you accidentally hit your controller, it's at 64 right now. But when I turn it down, it takes so long for it to slow down. I was so worried. I turned it down to 0 and it went around the entire peanut and it hasn't even slowed down yet. I'd be able to do it a lot easier, Todd, if it was lock sound, but I don't know nothing about TCS. I'm sure they're good, I just don't like them. And I prefer, what you call it, ESU. Everything. Squirrel. Most of them do, but because they're all different manufacturers, it's like trying to find that button is, you know, not as easy on some as it is on others. Chris, no, I haven't. I'm afraid to even open it up, to be honest with you. I'm sure that voids the warranty, first and foremost. I don't even know what kind of warranty it has, to be honest. Sometimes fixing it means not fixing it. Anthony, that's the one I'm actually looking at, because I was talking about how this station here, this train station, I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to modernize this section. And yeah, I'm thinking about getting that very specific commuter station. So I'll end up replacing this here with that, and yeah, I'm going to change a lot of this area here. That building in the back there is going to go. That white piece of paper is just the mock-up for the new building that's going to go in its place. And then I got to paint a lot of this brown and whatnot, just to cover up, like, I'm tired of seeing the wood, so there's going to be a lot more scenery going forward. Yeah, it'll probably be another couple of years before they do any more LRCs. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's it. If they're spending all that money on tooling mud cars, that's all you're going to see for the next 5 years. So they'll put out that first run, and then within, a year or two, maybe even 3, they'll do another run, because they're going to use the heck out of that tooling. And there's lots of mud cars, numbers and whatnot that they can do. So. How long have I been in this house? 2 years. Yeah, I think it'll be 2 years in the spring. Mind you, I've changed this layout like 3 times already. Like I originally had a Helix and I was going to do a whole upper level thing. Did away with that. And then there was 2 versions of what I've got going on in the middle here. That didn't work, and then this is kind of where I've landed. So I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm pretty sure this is it. This is where it's going to be and where it's going to stay, and that's it. I want, besides doing like some industries, like I want to add some right here where like the computer is, and then on that side there, I haven't decided yet if I want to bring the ethanol back and do the ethanol, or if I switch it up and do a bunch of other like small industries for switching purposes. So I haven't really decided yet what I want to do, but I mean, I know most people will say, oh, do the ethanol, and I'll probably do the ethanol, but you know, I haven't really, I haven't thought it through. I don't think I'm there yet. But let's see. Yeah, Anthony, 2 years, it does go by pretty quick, but in the first year, you gotta remember, like, it was all like this side here and in there, and then at the starting of the year is when I really started doing all this, and you know, I was working up the Helix. 2025, I always say 2025 is such a write-off because, you know, I was doing this, I was doing that, but I wasn't really getting anywhere. So it was really just a write-off for me. I hope I do get to make a dream layout. I've had lots of practice, but you know, I kind of make do with what I've got. And it's not always what I want, it's just kind of what I can make work, right? I try to buy locomotives with ESU in them already. I always had a bad habit of buying a DC locomotive that I really liked, and I'm like, I'll add sound to it, and then I never add sound to it. And I always forget about it, it gets put somewhere, and then I end up selling it, or, you know. So now I buy everything with ESU. And it works, because Intermountain has ESU, Rapido has ESU, Bowser has ESU, and even Atlas now. Atlas, I love Atlas. They're very underrated, but yeah, they make really good stuff, and they switched from QSI, which is terrible, but now they're all ESU. So very happy about it. Alright, Rail Artist, you have yourself a great night. Thanks for stopping by. I hope as well when I do the blue background, it brightens things up as well. That'd be nice. No, the Bachmann, the Charger set, that's actually I always call it TSC. It's the shopping channel. No, TSA, what is it? I was saying it earlier. TCS, there we go. It's TCS. And they even put like a TCS sound decoder in the cab car as well, which to me is just stupid, but you know. Who doesn't love wasting money? See, that's where Rapido did it right. And when my train comes around again, oh, you know what? I'll show you here because it's coming this way. So, when we're looking at this train, right? So each of these just track power. There is light in there. You can turn it off and on with a wand. I don't ever really use the lights, but they did, you know, come on automatically this time, which is fun. As we're moving along here, get to the cab car. So the cab car itself, it's a $100 cab car. That's $100 Canadian. Well, give or take $110, $120. They're usually very well priced in that respect because they're highly detailed. You know, you got your lights inside, you've got lots of detail inside, outside, the whole thing, right? They put speakers in those, and there is a board with a dummy plug. So you can spend $80 making it a $200 cab car as opposed to a $400 or $500 cab car. And you can add a FX decoder to it so that you can add sounds. And then also you can manipulate the lights by your controller. But what I'm saying is that they thought it out. They said, look, you know, not everybody's going to want sound and funky lights, you know, with their cab car. Let's not, you know, mess with people's wallets and get greedy. So if you want to upgrade it, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And you don't feel like you have to either. But unfortunately with the Bachmann, it started off as a $300 cab car, but is now $400. Is it about? I mean, I sanded it or filed it down a little bit. I don't know if it's moved at all. I'll check it again and see if I need to lift it up. You can see I put a piece of styrene under that because it was a little bit high. But let me see as the train's going through here. Let's see if it's shifted. Doesn't look like it. Chris, if you ever decide to put a decoder in the cab car, let me know. I'll send you the file. Yeah, that would be awesome. I haven't really, again, it's not one of those things where I'm all like, oh my gosh, my cab car needs to have sound, you know. I've never really needed it, but if and when I decide, I'll let you know, because even to do a video for that would be kind of cool. And I appreciate you sending out the file, because sometimes something like that is very hard to come by. So. Split Rock, how's it going? I know my layout's not much to look at right now because there's no scenery hardly anywhere. But, I had to do a bit of wiring, and I'm able to run trains again, which is a good thing because it's been like about a month or so since I've been able to run trains. So. When you know, you know. I gotta finish this backdrop piece as well. There's a couple of things that are just right now they're not moving, they're not doing too much, so I'm kind of jumping all around the layout just to get things done and still be able to run trains. It's kind of a toss-up sometimes. What do I do today? Do I run trains or do I add scenery or what do I work on, right? I probably won't bother converting the Bachmann to ESU because it's already cost me an arm and a leg. I don't want to put any more money into it. To me, it's just not worth it. I'll just leave it as is. Yeah. Yeah, decoders, the price is getting up there, for sure, for decoders. See about parking the GO train again. Hopefully this will work. Oops. Oops. Going the wrong way. Would you look at that? Thought I threw all the correct switches here. Turns out I only threw one switch.
Very cool. Yeah, it might only look like there's a bump, but see, I can file that down a little bit, but it looks like there's a bump, but it doesn't feel like there's a bump. Is that a yard back there? Passenger station. So I'll give you a little bit more information here because I know I was very I gave you the minimal as far as my plan or what I want to do. So there's a few kits from ITLA that I do want to get, and they're all going to go. They're all going to go back here. So they're all going to be background buildings, and they're a lot taller, but they're also going to be backdrop, the back of the building. So it's going to not necessarily be a skyline, but it's, there's a lot of buildings, and then you've got the back alleyway of said buildings that are just below that. It's not really a vocal point, I don't know, a visual eye-catching thing for the bottom, because that's all hidden by the elevated station. So they're just going to have a lot more height to them, which will make them a little bit more eye-catching in that sense, because it's going to tower over all of this. But in the front here, I want to have a small switching thing here. You can kind of see that I have a couple of switches laid out, some cork. It's not really glued down. I'm just kind of seeing what works for this area. I put these Walters buildings here, but I would really like to put a couple of things here where, if I pull in 2 cars, I drop them off, I pick up the empties and I can take them out, and then drop off the cars at, just the local industries here, just small, whether a box car or whatever. And then I can send the empty ones back up to the main line, which would be on the other side there, and then, can join them back up with the train. So I'm trying to plan in that sense as well, where it's where are they coming from? Where are they going? I can send them back to the yard as well, so that's fun. Because I have kind of a plan. It's not a real full plan, but it's kind of a plan. Hey, Dave Co, how's it going? Yeah. So my idea for wood kits, and you'd probably have to look online on the ITLA website to actually get the name of them. But the hotel kit that they have, which is really nice, it's really big, but it's another one of those ones where it's a backdrop building, or you could make it, a 3-dimensional building. I'll probably just end up doing the backdrop portion of it. And then there's a couple other ones where it's the back of an industry. So I won't have any trains down in there because it's a very difficult, that reach. I can reach here. That's as far as I can reach. So everything within that is reachable. Everything else is just scenery. So everything back there, scenery. Yeah, just the back side of the hotel, because you can buy the front, and then you can buy the back, and then you can either use it as a backdrop building, or you can buy the side extension so that it sticks out a bit more, and then you can get the back and the front and the side and the sides to make it one big building, like an actual building, which sounds good on paper, but it also sounds really expensive. So that, I can do half of it. I don't mind doing half. But. So I figure I could do about three or four tall buildings in there, and it'll look nice as a backdrop kind of thing. And then just do a road going right down in front of it. And then on the other side, like I said, I either want to do my ethanol plant, because I still have a lot of my grain cars and tank cars, so I think that would probably be the best option. But I still have my steel mill, and that's always going to be in the back of my mind. I haven't finished, building it or anything like that, but I'd like to at some point. I got everything leveled out. That was just spent tonight putting TCS, Wild Sound decoders and all, Athearn GPU. Dave, do you want to change some road numbers for me? I've got 2 TCS decoders, and I can't change the numbers on them to save my life. And yeah, it's a pain. This guy. So this locomotive here and the cab car both have TCS Wild Sound in them. So, but they're 0-3. So I can't separately do functions or anything like that, because, yeah. Yeah, Dave, you gotta come run trains. The only person who's actually come to run trains so far, mind you, I've had periods of time where I've had no layout working, so it's kind of difficult. But Bubs is the only one who's come. Mark hasn't even come in the 2 years to run trains. You gotta beat him to it, and then we can make him feel bad. I'll run something for Dave. Dave might appreciate this. He might. I don't know if he will, but I'm gonna see if he does. And yeah, we'll see what he thinks. Okay, Dave, I'm pulling out a train for you here. If I can just get this thing going, that'd be great. That's probably why I took it off in the first place. There we go. Okay. That should be good. Should. Keyword. Hey Ravenhawk, how's it going? Yeah, they look really nice. It is missing one car right now. I have to change the coupler. I just got the layout rewired, so I've just been trying things out, see how it is. I know you have built like 10 layouts, but did you just wing this one, or did you use any planning software? I never really use planning software, let's be honest. Planning software. It's no napkin, right? I can draw on a napkin and get exactly what well, almost exactly what I want. I'm very visual, so I like to see it in front of me. And also, because I don't want to spend a lot of money, I use a lot of the pieces that I already have. And you can see that in, obviously, when you're looking at, let's say for example, so all these curves here were from the Helix. From the Helix. All this black curve, that's all cork that's on there. And yeah, it works. You know? I just had to make sure I had enough room. I didn't want to go out and buy more cork, more, you know, whatever, just to make the layout work. I have tons of it here. So even with all the changes that I've done, what did I buy? I don't think I bought anything yet. Or, no, that's a lie. I think I bought a 2x4. I bought one 2x4. And that's all I purchased to make this bigger. Now, I would probably need another 2x4 and then a piece of wood to fill this in. Maybe a 2 foot by 4 foot, and then use scrap for the rest of it. But again, I'm not spending crazy amounts of money just to, you know, make this work. I've had to MacGyver some of this. Like you can see, there's a piece here, and then there's another piece in there, and then I have another piece that it's this wide, you know, and then it was 4 feet wide, and then I cut it down to 2 feet, and then I made it like 8 to 16 feet long. How long is that? I don't even know. But yeah, and that's what the passenger trains are sitting on right now. So I already had most of this stuff. I don't like spending if it's not necessary. And I don't like wasting either, so I'm not going to do that. Uh-oh. We are stuck. What are we stuck on? Oh. Leave it to the Athearn. Well, I do have AnyRail on my main computer. I use it in sections to design my current layout. I refused to pay, so I didn't like... Yeah. Like, I've tried it, but, you know, I'm no whiz with it, and I usually end up running out of pieces before I do something cool. So I think that's my main issue with that.
Yes and no. I probably should put plexiglass. Will I get it? Probably not. Like, my old layout was very similar to this in that sense, where you're really worried, and I had a lot of people say, dude, what if something falls off your helix? That's a lot of layers of helix, and that, you know, it was going up like above my head even. That's how big it was. And I never had that issue, not once. I trust my track work in a sense where, yeah, it should be okay. And now, even this is code 100, so I trust it even more. So, having code 100 is kind of like having a failsafe, I think. It's not perfect, but it still gets the job done, I think. It's my bedtime, trying to shake a cold before the week. Alright, you have yourself a great night. Feel better. Stay out of the snow. I think I'm probably going to round things off here as well. Because I started at 7 and it's already 9:30, so that's 2.5 hours. That's about a half hour more than what I was anticipating. So, yeah, because I do have work tomorrow anyways. So, yeah, so don't forget, Saturday. So Saturday, I'm doing the kit builds again, so that'll be at 7 o'clock. And see how long it takes for that train to actually stop. That's at 0. So I'll be going live at 7 o'clock to do the kit build. And we're going to be working on the ITLA kit, that massive kit. So come hang out. If you've got a kit to work on, you know, you're welcome to join me. And of course, Monday will be James and Mike over on their channel, and then we'll be back here. Well, not here, but on Thursday. Next Thursday, we'll be over on Mark's channel for Third Rail Thursday. So we'll see what he's up to. Hopefully he's got his layout going on, or, you know, track or something, right? Because I know he's working on his layout, but we'll see where he's at. Maybe he's got some neat ideas to share. So we'll see. As for me, I'm feeling pretty confident with the layout and how it is, and I'm very happy that I was able to get things wired up. I do have to drop a lot more feeders, but I'm not going to torture you guys by making you watch me drop feeders all night. That's a task for, you know, next month. Now that I can run trains again, I think that doing the feeder thing, it'll be at the bottom of my list, right? I'll take care of it, but yeah, it's probably... How do I make these trains stop? Shh. Silence. Okay, there we go. There's that one. They're so noisy. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna work on a kit on Saturday. Come hang out. 7 o'clock. I don't care what my thing says. It'll be 7 o'clock. Even if that time changes, it'll still be 7 o'clock. Other than that, yeah, I have a lot more to do. I think I'm going to do a massive clean of everything as well. I gotta get the paint next week to do the backdrop, so that'll be fun. And yeah, we'll do a layout update at some point. Maybe some guys will come by and run some trains for you. That'll be neat. Perry, I'm looking at you. Mark, if you're still there, I'm looking at you. And Dave,
Dave's somewhere in the background there. Dave, come run a train, man. He likes the switching, so I got to get some more track in here. I think, unless I just do a whole yard operation type thing, I think I could keep Harry busy for a good 2 hours in this yard, just moving cars around. I think that'd be neat to do. So we'll see what happens. We'll have to set that up at some point. But you guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. I had a blast, and I'm super happy that we can run trains again. So we'll be doing a lot more of that in the near future. Yeah, I'm Go Beer, go home.